It starts with
one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I've put my trust in you, pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of our broadcast of basketball. We're starting out in the women's division,
for day 2.
and obviously we are part of WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. Also, if you go on the YouTube and type in WNYF, we are live there, so go and watch that. I am with Jarrett today.
Yes, hello. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, Kevin had a little bit of an issue. He should be here later today. So
just a family event.
Yeah. Are you excited?
It's new. It's been about a solid year since I've been on a basketball call here.
Listen, I never did soccer in my life, but we did that earlier.
It's fair. 1 for 1, right?
Yeah.
That's the trade-off.
As we have the starting lineups, Damian Hunter is going to be for Potsdam, as Fredonia is going to start out with number 15, Sarah Sweezy. Next up for Potsdam is going to be number 15, Abby Smith. She's a captain. And for Fredonia, next one is going to be Ray White. She scored 30 points yesterday, which is fantastic. Next up for Potsdam is going to be number 20, as that's going to be Devin Elliott, just a freshman. And for Fredonia is going to be number 23, Katie Pitcher. Next up for the Bears is going to be number 25. That's going to be Riley Lucky. She's also a captain. As for the Blue Devils, it's going to be number 32, Jenna Einig. And finally, to round up the starting lineup for the Bears is going to be number 35, Nia Walters. And for Fredonia, it's going to be Anna Cha-Cha to round up the starting lineups here. And we were talking about it yesterday. I know me and Kevin were, but I know you were watching the game. I mean, the way that they won, especially with, you know, Ray White, she played phenomenal yesterday. Scoring 30 points and, you know, really driving the offense. What did you see?
I certainly saw a team that was willing to put themselves out there. I think one of the things that remain constant throughout this season, if I look at this schedule, there are losses on this board, as with anything, but they are all close games.
Yeah.
Fredonia rarely lets something get – the Fredonia women's basketball team rarely lets games get away from them.
It's very close, yeah, and I've been saying that throughout the entire year, so I'm glad that we're both on the same page with that. I mean,
yes.
Other than maybe 1 or 2 games, it's pretty much been like nothing more than 15 points. You know, that's a rarity, and then everything is pretty much in 10 points, you know, and it's very rare to see that, but they can literally switch their season like that if they get a couple of big wins here, and, you know, they can definitely find themselves in the playoff because that's the big hunt here. As we're just about to start tip-off. Thank you all for joining on this Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. The pregame for your football action
yes,
here.
Exactly.
Some basketball from Dodds Hall. Almost said Steel. Game is underway.
As the Bears get possession. Number 25 for the Bears gets it. That was Lucky. Passing it around the arc. And again, back to Lucky. Inside to number 35. Almost made it in. No good. That was Nia Walters trying for the shot. And inside is Sarah Sweezy, backs out. Now it's back beyond the arc. Katie Pitcher for a long 2. She makes it in. A good job passing around are the Blue Devils, and they get a quick 2 points. And now the Bears regain possession. And tough defense. Sarah Sweezy tips it away. Now she's trying to slow down the offense. Pass it into Einig, down low. It's good. 4 points for Fredonia. Quick start here, Jarrett.
Fredonia really pushing the envelope, which is nice to see. They're ready to go, just like yesterday.
And like I was saying yesterday, how this is pretty much playoff atmosphere. I mean, you're fighting for that final spot. So yesterday was a big win. This could be even a bigger win. As nice move there from number 20 for the Bears to get them on the board. That was Elliott, a freshman. And now Ray White. Let's see if her offense will keep going as she passes it to Pitcher. And that's going to be a foul on number 35. That was Walters causing the foul off of Pitcher as she goes to the free throw line. And we'll see if she can make 2 free throws. And Jared, I know you have been on the broadcast a lot for the basketball games as she makes the first one. But one thing I think you have seen is that Fredonia needs to do a better job of making free throws. I mean, sometimes it gets a little bit out of the way and causes them to either let people back in as she makes the second one, or they don't catch up to some of the teams where if they make those free throws, they can easily be back in the game, or they can take away and carry and win the game easily.
They did an excellent job right there. They just sunk 2 straight.
And now inside to Walters. And that's good. She is really tall. She is 6'1", so she's taller than anyone really on Fredonia other than Alexis Grissom. And she's the same height as Morgan Davis, but really, for what they have right now, she is the tallest person on the court for the Bears.
No, Potsdam really has, I think, it's just an interesting observation, but they have a nice size differential there. Number 25, Riley Lucky, only 5'2".
Yeah.
But she's right in there, in the crease, playing her part on the team.
Yeah. Good defense here by the Bears as Ray White down low. Pitcher, no good. She could not get the layup in. Too much in. Too much defense there as Fredonia looks to be on defense now. Back out. Back to number 15 for the Bears. Takes a shot. Goes off the side. Good rebounding there. But a bad pass by Abby Smith. And is intercepted. Now Fredonia has it. Now Katie Pitcher. Ray White looks to control the offense now. Calling the plays. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Down low is Cha-Cha. An easy layup, almost uncontested. Really nice passing there for the Blue Devils. And now we have Hunter controlling the ball for the Bears as she's going to call the offense. Passing to Smith. Driving in. Can't get it in. It's almost uncontested how open she was in the middle. And it looks like it's going to be Fredonia's ball. This is going to be a substitution here for the Blue Devils as Sydney Turley gets in. And for the Bears, number 44, Nicole Hansen is going to come in. As an inbound pass is going to happen. Now Ray White is going to control. And Jared, I know you were watching yesterday. She really caught on in the second half for Ray White as Einik goes in and she makes it in. 10-4 for the Blue Devils.
In the second half of yesterday's game, Fredonia puts up 15, and then they ramp it up for 26.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. I mean, they know how to ramp it up at certain times, and that was the biggest moment to do that, especially from Ray White. She had 4 3-pointers in that fourth quarter.
Big game mentality.
Shot, no good. Back out. Another shot, no good from another Bear as Abby Smith comes up with the rebound. And now that's to number 20, Elliott. And now to Lucky, to Hansen. Back to Lucky. Nice passing there.
Good ball work down there in the crease for Potsdam.
Yeah, I mean, good backdoor pass.
In and out from out and underneath the basket. They were very willing to use the whole court.
Yes,
to their advantage.
Einik. Back out to pitcher, almost goes out of bounds. Einik for 3, no good. No one there for the rebound, so Potsdam will regain possession. And now here come the Bears. See what they can do. And good passing again, but a good block by Einik as that goes out of bounds.
Einik watching that ball coming right to the bottom of the basket.
Yeah, good defense there.
Right place, right time, fully aware.
Exactly. And now right underneath the basket, that wasn't too easy for number 20, that was Elliott, to make that in. Ray White now for 3, no good. She cannot keep the hot hand for threes so far in this game. As Elliott, right from the free throw line, can't make it. Ray White with the rebound. Pushing the offense. Going in. And it is going to be a foul. It's going to be on 25, so Ray White will go to the line. And as for right now, Fredonia's doing a good job. 2 for 2 for the free throw line, but let's see what happens with Ray White. First one, luckily gets in. As a couple more substitutions are going to happen.
Took its time going through, but they made it.
Carly Shear for the Potsdam Bears is going to be substituted in. for Fredonia, number 25, Lauren Mickley, will be substituted in as well.
Fredonia's number 4, Jayla James, waiting to also enter in the game.
Yes. And a nice pass there. I thought that was going to go out of bounds. Really nice job by Captain Abby Smith. Nice move, but couldn't get it in too hard. Off the backboard. And now Ray White has possession. Here comes Ray White. Pass to Diana Chacha. Nice screen there by Mickley. Inside to Pitcher. Nice move there, and she gets it in. Way to power through at the end, Jarrett.
Fredonia really, again, driving their presence on the court.
Yeah. That's one thing you got to know with this team. I mean, Coach Cartmill for the Blue Devils really tells them, you know, give it everything you got. And wow, that was surprised that wasn't a foul. Almost ran right into Ray White. Almost ran right into Abby Smith there. But nevertheless, Fredonia regains possession. Pitcher in the corner. Takes a long two. She makes it in. Nice job there by Katie Pitcher. Nothing but net there. 3:16 to go. 15-8 so far in this game in the first quarter. And Jared, what do you see from both teams? What do you see from Fredonia? What do you see from Potsdam that really stands out for you?
Fredonia, I think for right now, they're definitely moving the ball. They're
good ball movement, you know?
Yeah. Just trying to find the right way to put it.
I get what you're saying. Good ball movement.
Good ball movement. And I'm just looking at the numbers on the board here. We got 2 players for Fredonia with points on the field. And but Potsdam driving the field for right now, Devin Elliott.
Yeah, exactly. And
now coming back into the game, 25.
Yeah, and I think something to really talk about too
4
is
and 2 for those points. I was reading the board. It's Potsdam. Fredonia really working a good points spread.
Yes.
Across their players.
There you go. You found it.
While Potsdam, yes.
Either way,
they've got it. They've got certainly some go-to players they can count on.
I think one thing that has to be really good for Fredonia, they haven't committed a foul yet. All 3 fouls have been on Potsdam, so as long as they keep to that category, that will be really, really good. And now, number 43 for Blue Devils, Arlene Scott is in as a shot, no good, from number 5. That's Hunter. And Jayla James is also in. Sydney Turley, back to Mickley, all the way across the court, underneath the hoop. Good block there by number 44, Hanson of the Bears. And a long pass, intercepted though. Good job by Mickley. Now the cha-cha, fast pace. And they're going to call it a travel. So a loss of a possession there for Fredonia, and that was a really good possession there. I mean, that was
a good shift for Lauren Mickley.
I for sure thought they were going to shoot a 3, but unfortunately a travel was called. So now let's see what happens for the Bears. And now Hunter to Hanson. Back out to Lucky. Going underneath. No good. And now James will get it to Mickley inside the cha-cha. Almost to Scott. Scott falls hard. Turley falls hard near the bench of Potsdam. Everyone is okay, though. And it will be Potsdam's ball. Now here come the Bears. Hunter, just a freshman as well. A lot of freshmen on this team playing a really big part for the Bears.
Potsdam fronting a very young team.
Long 2, it looked like.
Good,
and it is.
Only about three seniors on the roster.
Yeah.
And only a couple juniors, freshmen and sophomores, fill in the rest of the ranks.
Cha-Cha gets blocked underneath. not once but twice, but the third time she gets it in. Really good job by Cha-Cha.
That's the hard work we come to expect from her.
But that was really bad for the Bears. I mean, there was about 4 or 5 ladies around Cha-Cha, so unfortunately they couldn't get a rebound. As now Elliott trying to make her way in. Cha-Cha, nice defense.
Ooh.
And it's going to be a foul on Cha-Cha.
Potsdam, you said they were looking for that rebound. They are certainly good at placing their rebounds, especially on these inbounds as well. They were able to get that real quick play at the start of the game where they came in from behind the net, got one pass off, and were able to sink it.
Yes. Number 14, Leah Giavato, is in for the Bears. Justice Naughton is in for the Blue Devils. Now driving. Good for Elliott. Way to be powerful down there as she gets another 2 points. Jaylee James now to Turley. Nice crossover. It almost gets it in, but she's going to get fouled. She had a screen to her left and crossed over to her right. Really nice job to get to that basket, but unfortunately she could not make it in. She would go to the free throw line. And the first one, no good. See if she can make the second. And she makes the second one, so she goes 1 for 2 at the line.
4 and 6 for Fredonia. Potsdam yet to have a free throw opportunity.
Which is a good sign for Fredonia. I mean, that
very
means
disciplined game so far.
That means you're playing really good defense.
With the first quarter rounding out here, about 20 seconds to go.
Good rebound there by Scott. Loses it. See what happens. Not sure who has it, and looks like someone's slow to get up. Looks like Giavato.
Fair enough. 10 seconds in the game.
First quarter winding down, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Turley. As Potsdam will get one last opportunity. They got 6.1 seconds. It's 18-12. About to round out the first quarter. See what happens here. Elliott. And almost gets it in. I mean, oh, wow. That would have been impressive if she made that in. I mean, she wasn't even looking. Just, I don't even know how to describe it. Almost went over the shoulder to her right shoulder. Went over the shoulder.
Almost trying to, like, in the very last second, transition into a pass behind her.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't even looking. What do you make of the first quarter?
I see Fredonia once again. I mean, if I just compare the numbers from yesterday's game against Plattsburgh, Fredonia was at the end of the first quarter down in totals. Plattsburgh leading through the first 14-11.
Yeah.
Fredonia 18-12 now.
Right.
In this game at the start of the second quarter.
Right, and that's something to be. Yeah. That is a good observation there, because sometimes Fredonia starts out slow, sometimes they start out hot, but then they lose their momentum. Today they definitely started out hot. Now can they keep that momentum and ride it out? Not ride it out, but continue on it and see what happens.
Good possession numbers too. Looking at turnovers. Only 3 for Potsdam and 2 for Fredonia.
Yeah, that's a really good quarter. I mean, if you could keep, 2, 3 each quarter.
Fredonia 3 steals.
Yeah, and that's something that's underrated from them too. I mean, Sarah Sweezy has those long arms. I feel like I say it every time, but it really is. And Anna Cha-Cha had a contributed steal in that, or at least tipped it to get someone else to steal. As now we resume play. And now we have the Bears, Elliott, Back to Giovito. Lucky for three. No good. Tipped by pitcher. Rebounded by Einig. White now.
Good turnaround.
Gets it in. Fast-paced offense.
Did
Working well.
almost did not get that rush off of the pass. Did almost bounced out of Katie pitcher's hands.
Yes. Good block there by Einig again. As now Ray White is going to be on that fast pace. Passed it to Einig. Could not maintain possession. It was a hard pass by Einig. Or, excuse me, by White to Einig. Down low.
Had the looks of a good drive, though. They were really on the money for those passes, and they just went a little too far once they got down into under the basket.
Yes. Einig misses from mid-range. As now the Bears look to try to be on that fast-paced offense as well. Elliott. Right near the foul line. Passed it to Hansen. Elliott gets it in right near the free throw line. 2 points for her. She has 8 points so far in this game. And now we have Ray White passing to Anna Cha-Cha. Back to pitcher. Back to White. Passing it all around the arc. In low to Einig. And it rolls out, but she gets the rebound. Good pass, though, to pitcher. She can't make it in as well. With about two defenders, she passed it right up to pitcher.
Oh, look out.
Nice job by Sarah Sweezy to deflect it out of bounds. Get everyone to really settle down, think about what they're going to do. A couple of substitutions here as number 24, Victoria Shapovic, will be coming in the game. She is a freshman, and she is she's not a freshman, she is a senior. She's a forward, excuse me. I thought it was freshman. But she is also a captain on his team. Pass it down low, but stolen by Sweezy. Bad pass there by Smith. Ray White now driving down. Einig. Almost the pitcher. It was almost deflected, but right into Ray White's hands. Einig again down low. Passed it back up to Ray White, who's now going to slow down the offense. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Einig to Sweezy, wide open for three. No good.
Just off the outside rim.
Yes.
They almost had that one down.
The Bears now are trying to get something going here. And that's in. Nice job there by Captain Abby Smith. She gets 2 points
Abby
here.
Smith all on her own, just does a quick circle back and gets a quick look at the baskets, and all she needs.
Yes. And now, again, passing around the arc. Ray White now in the corner for three. She does not make it in. She's feeling really confident in those threes, though. She keeps trying and trying. Let's see.
But she's getting there. She's close every time.
And it's going to be a travel for number 5. That is Damian Hunter. (20-16)
for Fredonia. 7 minutes on the second quarter.
Now Ray White. See what she can do here. Pass it down to Einig for the post. And it's stolen away by Smith. Hunter now to number 11 to the Bears. Now Lucky. And now to Smith. Got deflected, so it goes back to Lucky. As she's looking for someone. As you got Smith. Screen. Trying for a layup. No good. Rebounded by Sweezy. As we're almost halfway done in this second quarter. Ray White. Now to Cha-Cha. Pass it down low to pitcher. Nice pass with two defenders. No good, though. And that's going to be a foul on Katie Pitcher. A couple substitutions are going to happen as Jayla James is going to come in, Sydney Turley, and Lauren Mickley for the Blue Devils.
Katie Pitcher having a fantastic game, a huge 8 on that scoreboard.
Yes, she's leading the offense so far for the Blue Devils. And defensively as well. She's had a couple key defensive plays so far in this game.
Big helping hand moving forward, but the score stalling for a moment. Extended play here is both teams looking for an in on a basket here.
And now, good defense there by Cha-Cha. As looks like to be another screen opportunity. Smith, Hunter to Elliott. Long two, rolls out of the basket. Turley with the rebound.
Both teams playing excellent defense on the court.
And one.
Fredonia finally gets the basket they were looking for.
So now an N1 opportunity for Mickley. That's a big, big turn of events here as we're waiting for the scoreboard. Still says 20-16, but maybe she actually
22-16.
Maybe it was should be.
There we
now
are.
It's 23. It should be 23. It's 23-16, 5:20 to go. And now long pass from Smith. Back to Smith in the corner. No good, rebounded. And now Hunter has possession. Driving in, good pass to Elliott down low. She makes it. Nice passing there.
Devin Elliott herself with now 10 points in this game.
She's leading the Bears. As now you have Turley to Mickley to Cha-Cha in the corner. Driving towards the basket. Back to Pitcher for a long two. She makes it in. Like you said, Katie Pitcher is really running this offense today. Yesterday it was Ray White. Today it is Katie Pitcher. She has 10 points. And that shot was blocked as it's out of bounds. And now Lucky and Hanson are back in the game for the Bears. The Bears maintain possession here.
Ray White has herself in this game 3 points so far, so she's making her own impact. So.
Yeah. But again, as we know from Ray White, she can score 30 any given night or day. And good rebounding there by Lucky as she puts it back and gets herself 2 points. It is 25-20. In is Turley, no good, and it
foul
looks
coming.
like it looks like she got hit in the face there. I can't tell by who. It might have been Hanson as she was driving in. But she is okay. She's going to the foul line. As we wait to see if she can make a free throw. Ref is giving her a little time to shake it off. Must have got hit in the eyes or nose or something. Maybe her eyes were a little watery. As now, see if she can make it. First one, good. Marlene Scott will be substituted in for Katie Pitcher.
Clean basket.
And number 35, Nia Walters, is back in for the Bears. Second one. Good. Oh, no, no good. Rolls in and out of the basket. Fredonia is back on defense. And Marlene Scott taking over defensively, and there is going to be a foul as number 11, Shear, was driving in, as she will go to the line.
This is going to be Potsdam's first free throw attempt.
Oh no, they're actually going to inbound it. I thought they were going to the line.
Never mind. Fredonia's still with the clean record on the afternoon here today.
Which is pretty good if you really have to look at it, Jared, to go this long without them going to the free throw line. Now, if they have gone, maybe this game is, still a little closer. I mean, it's still a two-possession game either way. So Fredonia's offense has to pick it up somehow. Looking for a pass. Elliott now has it. Right behind the three-point line, drives in, passed it back out. Shear for three, no good. Rebounded by Scott. As Elliott was Elliott was like jumping, a little weird how she was really trying to fight for that ball. But nevertheless, we have Fredonia Blue Devils regaining possession as a couple substitutions here. Ray White is back in the game. I believe Anna Chacha is also back in the game. As Ray White passes to Chacha. As now Ray White. It's stolen by Elliott. Good eyes by Elliott. And that's a defensive foul. Or an offensive foul, excuse me.
Wrong place, wrong time for Riley Lucky.
You hear the Fredonia bench cheer on that one. As the refs are going to talk about it. The reason why I said defensive foul is because her feet were not set for that screen.
Yes.
But they discussed it and realized it was an offensive foul. As Einik is going to be subbed in for Mickley. 3:21 left, 26-20. As now passing going on, the full court press. Fredonia's got to hurry up and get it across the line. They do. Good passing here, and a foul on Potsdam, or caused by Potsdam, and Turley again will go to the line.
Anna Chacha with fantastic agility to advance the ball up the court.
Yes. And she had to be careful there because time was running out. I mean, there's only a certain amount of seconds you can be behind or in your zone as the first free throw goes. And, they didn't want to give up the ball there, obviously, just because they're in their own zone. Second one for Turley. It's good. And now Sarah Sweezy will come back in the game for Turley. As Lucky now has possession, he's going to drive into Fredonia territory. Hunter now trying to cross over. Sarah Sweezy with good, tough defense. Now to Elliott. Now to Shear. Now to Hunter. Almost passed it. A no-look pass from Hunter to Elliott, but unfortunately she cannot get the pass, and it goes out of bounds for Fredonia's ball. And then, again, another full court press here. Now, Sweezy to White. To Chacha. Down to Scott. Down to Elliott. No good. Good passing there, though, for Fredonia. That's what you want to do each and every time. And now here's Sarah Sweezy. And trying to pass it around is the Bears. Elliott tries to drive in for a layup. She can't get it. Couple ladies on the floor here. Shear for a long three. No one defending her. She cannot make it in, though. That's a costly three there for Potsdam.
Nothing much else to do either with the shot clock running out.
No, not at all. Scott. Now to White. Down low the Sweezy. They had her for a quick second. Unfortunately, she could not get it. And here's Lucky. And it looks like to be a timeout. And let's see what Fredonia can do in the last minute and 41 seconds. It's 28-20. Jarrett, what do you really see here in the second quarter?
I think I see this Fredonia defense kicking in once again. Last time we touched on it, the score was pretty close. Only 2 possessions now. Fredonia pulling ahead, 28-20. And rounding out this second quarter with a sizable cushion.
Yeah, not comfortable, but definitely
it's decent.
It's definitely something to go into half where you can feel confident and end this quarter on a good note.
Right.
So that way you get the halftime. That way you get the halftime momentum. And are able to go into the third and really ride off that momentum. And now, Potsdam has control. If you're Potsdam, though, you need a couple buckets here. Get the momentum back on your side. Good defense, though, by the Blue Devils. Shear. Now to Hansen. No good. Rebounded by number 24 for the Bears. It's going to be the Bears' ball. That was rebounded by number 24, Shupovic. And now Katie Pitcher, the lead scorer of today's game, will come back into the game for the Blue Devils. And now, pass to Smith, to Shear. Gets out of her hands, but somehow goes into Hansen's. Driving back in, almost the same play, but they're going to call it a foul. A reaching foul. That was really surprising. I thought that was all ball, but now, again, Potsdam will look to inbound. Pass to Lucky. Back behind the three-point line now. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. And if you're Potsdam, maybe run out the time here. Don't give Fredonia any chance. But stolen by Sarah Sweezy.
Just as you say it.
Foul. And now, looks like she's going to go to the line. And that's a costly foul if you're Potsdam. I mean, you can't give up those fouls with less than a minute to go.
Oh, having yet to even earn yourself an opportunity, earn yourself an opportunity.
Yes.
Fredonia out 8-12, taking advantage of this fantastic discipline they've been exercising.
Sarah Sweezy goes 1 for 2 at the line, and that's one thing that I think she can improve on. Sarah Sweezy is really good, but her free throw shooting has been kind of iffy all season long. But if they make a playoff run, as good passing there by Potsdam, as number 24 for the Bears makes it in, that's something she can improve on if they are able to get in the playoff hunt. Einig back out to Sweezy, back to Pitcher. Lost the ball for a second, goes to Ray White for long two. Almost in, no good, rebounded by Cha-Cha. As looks like Fredonia is going to get the last shot in. 15 seconds left. As it's passing around, back down to Einig, turns around for the jumper, no good. 3 seconds for the Bears. See what happens, half court, shot, no good. And that's gonna end the half, but did it end with a foul? I believe it did not.
Everyone exiting the court for the half themselves.
And speaking of that, we're gonna take a quick break here. And we'll be right back, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Tune in. Thank you.
into this fourth quarter. In Potsdam, I think the frustration will come out here.
Yeah, I mean,
They have been
they only scored
stonewalled, more or less.
What was the first half? 22 points they scored in the first. They only scored 6 points in that quarter.
Just about.
So, I mean, that's just, you know, it's just incredible of what happened. I mean, I don't know what happened to the offense for the Bears, but, you know, they got to find it now more than ever because Fredonia's offense really hasn't been stellar either. And a cha-cha for three. No good.
Fredonia's offense not stellar, but it's consistent.
Yes.
It's consistent. They're putting plays in the basket. There are moments where they do take that step back and they reset themselves.
As the Bears have it, they're moving it around the arc. Now in the corner is number 24 for the Bears. That's Shapovich. Now passed it to Hunter up top. And tried to cross over, but she can't. Sarah Sweezy steals it. Anna Chacha now has it. Driving in. It's going to be a travel. And Anna Chacha, you see Coach Cartmill yell at Chacha, be smart. That was not a smart play from Chacha. That she shouldn't have driven in when there was two defenders down low. Should have passed it out, maybe see if there was a player open.
And when it comes down to steals, Fredonia has 11 of them as opposed to Potsdam's 4.
Yeah, really good margin there. Good defense there. And turning points off of turnovers, they have 12. So that's a really big margin there as well. As Lucky has it, passed it to Jackson. Down low to biggest girl on the court. That was number 35, Walters, the 6'1" sophomore. Unfortunately, she got a travel. Could not make in the basket because of the travel, so now Fredonia has it. Tough defense here for the Bears. Jayla James now controlling the offense. Passed it to Cha-Cha, who drives in. Really nice move to get around. Fortunately, she could not get it in. Kept it in. Einig could not regain possession after Walters put it back in to play. And now, here come the Bears. Driving in is Jackson. She makes it in.
A long-awaited 2 points here for the Bears. Gets them to 30 points.
Maybe that's what they needed. They needed to get some spark on the offense. Here's Einig. Good from mid-range.
Fredonia responds right back.
As a timeout to start the fourth quarter. 8:13 left in the game, 44-30. And it definitely has not been as exciting as yesterday's game. Yesterday's game meant so much, and you could just see it out of every play. But this one is a big game too. And you can see how Coach Cartmill is really just telling them to keep going for it, get after it, fight like it's a playoff game at this point. You know, every game pretty much is a playoff game at this point. You know, if let's just say Potsdam comes back and wins this, I mean that is pretty much a huge loss there.
Right.
That's a devastating loss. So if they play smart here, they'll get a W.
Smart for a cool 18 minutes and 13 seconds. Jenna Einig and Katie Pitcher now both at double digits in terms of personal points.
Mm-hmm. And now, here's Elliott.
They are both on the court right now as well.
Jackson, Elliott. And that's someone who hasn't really scored a lot in the second half was Elliott, so they really have shut her down. See if she can get her spark back. No good. Back for three. No good. Rebounded by Anna Cha-Cha. The shot was by Shear. Driving. Now Einig. Back out three. No good for Jayla James. Rebounded by Potsdam.
I like that play because they almost got caught up underneath the net. But they went back out and they got that nice three-pointer chance.
Right. And that's a play you can take every time.
Yep.
Stolen and a hard hit. As Anna Cha-Cha was on the floor for a second. So was Walters for the Bears, and she could see the frustration in her face after doing that. As Sydney Turley is back in the game.
Excuse me.
And good eyes by Elliott. She almost stole that one away. Unfortunately, she did not. Or should I say fortunately, since we're kind of rooting for Fredonia. I don't want to be that biased. Anyway.
Rooting in fairness.
Here's pitcher. Passing it around the arc. There are the Blue Devils. Inside is Einig. Back out to James for another 3. No good. Hits the net, but does not go in the net, and the shot clock violation. And again, it looks like Fredonia's offense, they just can't seem to find it today. No one can really be hot like yesterday, like Ray White was carrying this offense. It seems like Einig has been off for the past 2 games.
Yeah.
So maybe something's up with her. Maybe it's just that time of the season where she needs a little bit more rest, but she can't. This is playoff berth now. You know, you got to fight for it. As
it is also a
nice pass.
It is also a fairly early start.
Yes.
A noontime tip off.
Yes.
Nothing terribly unusual, but
usually,
for a Sunday game, it's hard to recount the number of times that we've been on the air for Sunday.
Yeah. And that's because of the snow and everything, and Potsdam is so far. This game was supposed to be on Friday, but unfortunately, because of this weather, it's been better the past couple of days. But Thursday and Friday,
Friday, cold,
and Wednesday was just cold as can be. And
couple bad snowstorms thrown in the mix.
In the corner now, pitcher to Ray White, Sydney Turley. To Ray White. Pitcher again. Guarded toughly. Open is Sweezy, but a bad pass forces her to pass it to Einig. Einig goes inside, no good. And that's no good for Einig, as she's having a rough afternoon. Driving in is Elliott, no good. Elliott really playing hard. She almost steals that one away. Turley regains it, though, as she goes in, and she makes a key layup there. Way to be patient for Turley and to realize where her defender was and to go with that Euro step.
Didn't rush the approach. Didn't worry about who was around her.
Just good court recognition.
Took her time walking up to that basket.
Yes. As Marlene Scott and Lauren Mickley come into the game for the Blue Devils. And I don't think there's any substitutions for the Bear other than Lucky, as she is in the game. And Smith is also back in the game. Good defense here by Fredonia. No good from Walters, number 35 for the Bears, as good defense again.
Good recognition of Potsdam trying to set up layers themselves here for that attack. Down here at the Fredonia bench.
And a shot there by Mickley, no good. And elbow to the face was Walters. That should be, and she is frustrated as Marlene Scott is. Walters is saying something. There should be a technical. There's definitely going to be a technical. As they're going to clap, you can definitely see the frustration in her face. That was a hard elbow shot. As coaches are calming her down, and actually the referees are going to discuss whether it was a technical violation. I assume there was because of what she said afterwards. I do not know what she said afterwards, and even if I did know, I would not repeat it on air.
Incidental contact happens all the time, and it's.
But the way that she ripped and everything like that did not need to happen. So
adding anything extra is just only going to muddy up the gears.
Yes. So
gum
we're
up the
see
gears.
What happens.
.454 on the clock, 46-32 in favor of the Fredonia Blue Devils.
we're waiting to see what happens. Referees are talking to the scorer's table right now to see what exactly happened. As we're waiting for the decision. So it looks like they're going to call the foul on. Looks like the foul is going to be on Scott, but there's also going to be a foul on Walters.
Braylon Scott, a foul,
and then
Nia Walters, a technical foul.
Yes, so that's why Ray White is at the free throw line right now, because she is their best free throw shooter. So it's a regular foul for Scott. It's a regular foul for Scott, and it's a technical foul for Walters. As Walters is on the bench now, as she lost it. She's just not having a good game, and sometimes that happens, you know. But right now they need to settle her down and maybe get her back on if she's allowed, and, you know, get her in this offense with
because every player is critical.
Right. And she does have some size on her. I mean, against this Fredonia team. A three for Turley. She makes it in. A big three-pointer for Turley. Or is a long two, excuse me. Looked like a three-pointer from my range and sight, but it was a long two. Nevertheless, Fredonia gets on the board with 2 more points. And a huge three-pointer for Lucky. And now fast break opportunity. Missed pass there by Turley, almost costing 2 points. But tough defense here by Potsdam as a timeout, a smart timeout from Coach Cartmill. And you saw that timeout. You saw Sweezy in the corner. That's just a tough place to be. I mean, that's a smart timeout there. So a little over 4 minutes to go. It is 49-35. And for Fredonia, it seems like their offense today has not been clicking like they have been, or at least since yesterday. Yesterday they were on point, and they were really, really good yesterday. You know, maybe it was just because Ray White was just so efficient that they were able to score that many points. But today it seems almost sluggish, and maybe it has to do with the times. Like we were saying before, this game was supposed to be Friday, and it was supposed to be at like 7 or 5:30, and then the men's game would be at 7.
Right.
But because of the snow and all the coldness, and because Potsdam is so far.
I mean, that happened everywhere. That's been just all of campus life so far. It's perhaps maybe it's something that just comes off as deeper than that, because a lot of things have changed. Classes have been canceled. Activities night has been changed. It's just a big lifestyle readjustment for a lot of Fredonia. But that's life. This is basketball. It's certainly a smaller place.
Now, in the corner is Elliott. Lucky for 3. No good. Ray White now to Turley. On the fast break. Nice moves there. And that's going to be Fredonia. Fredonia will, again, go to the free throw line. I'm a little bit surprised that was not a offensive foul, just because I thought Potsdam, you know, the defender was settled. They weren't moving their feet, as the first one's good. But nevertheless, a free throw opportunity for Fredonia is an even 50 for them. And now it's 51 points on the night for Fredonia. Sydney Turley is 2 for 2.
22 possible opportunities.
Yeah.
And Potsdam still
16,
has yet to go to the line.
16 for 22. And back out to Shear. Mid-range, no good. Last touch by Potsdam. I believe his last touch by number 44, Hansen. Is now full court press again.
Potsdam's definitely starting to try and get their shots off quicker.
Yes. I mean, they're running out of time.
As the clock is running down.
They're almost down by 20 points. It's 51-35. A little less than 3 minutes, 30 seconds here in the fourth quarter. Good passing here. Mickley for three. No good. Scott, though, underneath, gets the rebound. Back to Turley. Back to Mickley. And a travel called. Another costly travel, and we've seen it about like 4 or 5 times, I want to say, today, that Fredonia has done. And, you know, maybe that is something to improve on, especially in this game, as it looks like another timeout is called. But if you're Potsdam, you're not out of it. If you just keep the tight defense, you got to make some buckets, though. And that is something that they have been struggling all second half.
They're getting the shots off quick, but the shots they're either sailing over or under.
It's just something that they haven't been able to score in the second half. One second half hit, they scored 4 points in the third quarter, which they've done more in this quarter.
7 points now in the quarter.
The third quarter really did hurt the Bears.
Fredonia in absolute control.
As now, the Bears inbound it. Back out to Lucky. Shear passes inside to Hansen. Smith to Elliott. He gets blocked, but let's see if there's a foul, and they did say there's a foul. As I believe this is the first time they will go to the line.
There it is.
So 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the fourth quarter. That's the first time they're going to the line, which I will say is phenomenal in any game,
right?
In any division. I mean, that's just stellar defense and calm, composed defense. The first one was good.
I think that if we attempt to break down that third quarter, I think the free throw was one of the quintessential tools that Fredonia used.
Yes.
To just put Potsdam, they physically put them in the corner on one play, but in terms of just this whole game, Potsdam has been kept under a tight watch.
Yes. As Marlene Scott was underneath the basket, could not make it in. Driving in is Hunter. And see who this is on. Is this the second time? So 2 times here in the fourth quarter. And if you're Fredonia, don't give up these fouls now. I mean, don't let them back in the game. If you know, this will stop clock for one, as the first one is going to give them chance to get some points.
Right. Fredonia's got to be starting to think about just letting the clock go. Don't want to get caught up in that stop and start mentality that really brings the game to a whole different place.
Yes. And the second one's good. And if you're Fredonia, let them score. Let the clock run, and then you get the opportunity.
Right. It's not the end of the world.
And then you can get the free throw opportunity.
Right.
As now, here's Ray White. Jackson is in the game for the Bears. Also, Shapovic is in for the Bears. Good passing beyond the arc for the Blue Devils. Down is Scott. Short shot clock, no good. But way to waste some time, waste the clock.
Definitely.
At this point, it's not a matter of making buckets anymore. You can literally just waste the clock, and you're going to win this game.
As long as Fredonia keeps the composure they've had through better of 3 quarters, they just let the defense do the talking. You can let Potsdam score, because all game you've managed that.
Right. As number 22 for the Bears is now in. That's Pound. Hunter drives in. No good. Back up. No good again. Those were 2 opportunities that the Bears needed. It's 2-on-1 here.
Turnover.
Good passing.
Excellent.
And a great job by Ray White. Great assist. And that definitely wrapped up this game most definitely, as looks like someone has a nosebleed. I believe it's actually Pound, who just came into the game for the Bears. Danielle Pound, the forward. As Ray White will exit the game. Jayla James comes in. Also, number 30 for the Blue Devils will come in, as Barlene Scott will exit. Morgan Davis. And also, they're going to make another substitution, okay? Abby Tabone will come in for Lauren Mickley. So really putting out all the substitutes at this point. I mean, it's pretty much as far stretched for Potsdam to win this one. Hunter for three. In and out of the basket, no good. Rebounded by Tabone. Cindy Turley. And if you're Fredonia, just waste clock here. Morgan Davis down low. Tabone, no good, it gets stolen. Hunter, Jayla James, right on her tail. No good from Hunter.
And just turn it around.
As there is 40 seconds left. Pretty much this game is over. And a good, I wouldn't say a great win like yesterday, but this was definitely a good win for Fredonia.
A consistent win.
As Tabone tries to make the shot. And that's going to be a foul. And she will go to the line. As a little less than 30 seconds left here in this fourth quarter. It's 53 to 39. As the first free throw is no good. And let's see about the second. Good.
There you go.
And now, 25 seconds left. Let's see what the Bears can do for one final possession. Here's Jackson. Smith down low. And no good off the shot from number 21. That's Phoebe Mora. As the Blue Devils will win this one 54 to 39. Not the best offensive performance, but the defense was on point.
Yes.
And I think that's just the best way to sum it up. As
defense and discipline.
Yes, defense and discipline. As we're going to take a little break here. That is it for the women's game. Thank you for watching on WNYF and listening on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. We will be back shortly for the men's game, so stay tuned for that.
All right.
And
Kevin Syracuse will hopefully return.
Kevin should return for the men's game. If not, Jared will do just fine here.
I suppose.
See you soon.
Great stuff. Thanks for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
And good afternoon, everyone, as we are back for more SUNYAC action between the Fredonia Blue Devils men's team and the Potsdam Bears. Good afternoon, I am Kevin Syracuse with Crescenzo Fano, as the Fredonia women's team just defeated the Bears moments ago, and now we are just about to get started here for the men's game, as the 2-18 Blue Devils host the 11-9 Potsdam Bears. So starting things off for the Bears, number 12, Danny Delso Lowry. For Fredonia, number 5, Tyler Roberts.
Delso Lowry averages 32.6 minutes a game.
For Fredonia, number 10, Daquan Smith. I didn't get the other guy for Potsdam. He still has his sweatshirt on. Okay, and he took it off. That is number 22, Colby Simpson. And now number 23, Dante Langley. For Fredonia, number 11, Isaiah Ice. For Potsdam, number 21, Aaron Armstrong. For Fredonia, number 12, Kadeem Riddick. And for Fredonia, number 33, Cody Johnson. And for the Bears, number 33, Serene Kane. So yesterday, Crescenzo, we saw the Blue Devils lost to the Plattsburgh Cardinals, but it wasn't a terrible game it wasn't as bad as it started after that 27-4 start for Plattsburgh.
Right, and as for Fredonia, I mean, it feels like to me that every single time that they go out there, it's either a blowout or, it's a large margin that they're losing by. But at stretches, they were holding their own. They were keeping up with that fast pace. They remind me a lot of the Golden State Warriors, maybe not in shooting threes and making all of them, but they're a smaller team, and we've been saying it all year. They're a smaller team. They need to be quicker than a lot of these other teams. And just as of right now, I mean, size isn't really that bad compared. If you're comparing the two teams, they're pretty evenly matched when you look at the heights and weights comparing these two teams. So maybe this will really be in Fredonia's favor. But again, they're 2-18, and Potsdam is, up there in the conference.
Opening tip is won by Fredonia, and now Daquan Smith has it to start things off for the Blue Devils. Now this is Isaiah Ice. Kicks it to Tyler Roberts, gives it back to Ice, who drives in, finds Roberts, who gives it to Smith. He drives in, puts up the floater. That one is short. Rebounded by Kane.
That's beautiful passing, though, so far there for the Blue Devils. I mean, there's at least 4 or 5 passes right away for the Blue Devils.
This is Delso Lowry. Gives it to Armstrong. Now the ball gets worked down low. And tipped right into the hands of Armstrong, but he gets fouled.
Again, another hard block to start out for Cody Johnson. I mean, he's always hard hitting, and
sometimes a little too hard.
Yeah,
he got into foul trouble yesterday.
Yeah, and that's been his problem all year long. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. We're going to say it again here on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. This game is also on WNYF. So if you go onto YouTube, type that in, you're going to find the game live and hear us and, watch the game. So if you're at home or anything like that. And going back to Cody Johnson, I mean, he does get into a little bit of foul trouble.
Armstrong goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Bears are coming out with a full court press. Now they back off.
Cody Johnson is the second leading scorer. Before yesterday's game, he had 44 on the season. That's probably tacked on a little bit more since yesterday's game.
This is Ice now. Feeds it down low to Johnson. Kicks it back out. Riddick for 3. And that one is short. Rebounded by Kane. Gives it to Simpson, who hands it off to Langley. Thinks about that 3. Now gives it back to Simpson. Into Kane. Backs down Johnson. Strong move, puts up the hook shot, and it's good.
That's a really nice job for Potsdam right there. I mean, obviously the size difference, you can definitely tell between Cody Johnson and King, but you can definitely tell that was just a good placement to be in the post.
This is Roberts on the left wing.
And as for Potsdam, they're rebounding.
Ice drives in, kicks it out to Smith. Riddick thought about that three.
Opponents are out rebounding them. 691 for Potsdam, 716 for the rest of their opponents. So they definitely need to work on their rebounding.
Ice's three is off the mark, and now the Bears come back the other way, and this is Armstrong, and he finishes. And Potsdam's out to a 5-0 lead.
And if you're Fredonia, you can't allow that 24, 25 points when you only score 4 or 7. You got to stay close no matter how many points they score.
Johnson gets it down low. He works on Kane, but he can't finish. Simpson, nice pass into Kane, and one.
Big effort already here.
Kane put that in. Johnson with another foul. And then there were some words afterwards, and the referees had to separate them, and now Hill will come in for Johnson.
Johnson
This
already
is
has
Messiah
2,
Hill.
I believe. I believe that's why he's going to the bench. He comes out firing, but the problem is he doesn't know how to contain it. I believe he already has 2 fouls, and it's not even 3 minutes into the game.
Kane misses a free throw. So Isaiah Ice goes to work trying to get the Blue Devils on the board. Tyler Roberts drives in. Scoop layup is good.
That's a really nice job there. And he did it with his opposite hand, too. Not the left side. He did it with his right side when he was on the left side. So that was just a really nice finish.
Good defense from Hill. But Kane backs him down, puts up a shot, and we're going to call an offensive foul on Kane.
Kane has only started 14 games. He's played in all 19, but he's only started in 14 of them. But expect a lot of work for him today, especially with the size difference.
Daquan Smith waiting for something to get set up now. And he drives in. Puts up the shot. A little too far to the right.
But that's a good shot opportunity. Created some space, was able to get past the defense. Try for the layup.
And we're going to have another offensive foul called.
That's the second one so far. And that's what's hurting Potsdam, but really has been lucky for Fredonia, because probably those would have been baskets if they weren't offensive fouls.
So Ice brings it up the court, puts on the brakes, gives it to Riddick. Now over to Roberts. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be staying here.
And the thing that makes Potsdam so lethal is that they have 4 different scores that are in double digits. They have Deswell Lowry, they have Thomas, they got 4 different people, you know.
Hill drives in, puts up the shot. Looked like it may have gotten blocked, and the Bears come away with it. This is Simpson.
Landley is leading the scorers with 15.3 for Potsdam, so look for him to be the offensive leader.
And he gives it to Delsa Lowry, who gives it into Kane. Backs down Hill. And count it. Serene Kane going back to the line for another and one.
Boy, he has a lot of energy, does he?
Yeah.
I like it.
He's coming out with some firepower. And
he's definitely showing it. I mean, I don't know if he was hurt he played in all 19 games, so, but maybe he's a backup or something, but he's definitely taking the opportunity and riding with it in today's game.
And he misses another free throw, so he has 6 of the 9 points for the Bears. So it's 9-2 with just over 4 minutes into the game. Ice drives in. He gets fouled, and he'll be going to the line.
And the thing about Kane for the Bears, he has 48 personal fouls, so that is a lot, definitely on the season. So if Fredonia is smart, maybe get him really hyped up, and there might be a foul. and they're able to foul him out, you never know. That can change up the whole game.
Ice misses the first free throw, and now number 0, Christoph Saunders, comes in for Kane. And yeah, taking a look at the individual stats here for Potsdam, Dante Langley averages 15.3 a game. Nosa Anabor averages 15.1. Ice makes the second free throw. Jaquan Thomas averages 13.9, and Danny Delsa Lowry averages 12.3. So that's 4 guys averaging more than 12 points a game. So a very balanced scoring attack for Potsdam. And now Delsa Lowry feeds Saunders, who backs downhill, puts up the shot. No good.
Good double team there by Fredonia. Way to recognize the double team needed to happen.
Ice drives in, comes in with speed, and he finishes. Isaiah Ice picks up right where he left off yesterday with those strong takes to the hoop. It is 9-5.
And that's the energy that you need from Isaiah Ice. Look at him. He's all over the court, really playing hard on defense.
Nice take from Langley. Count it, and he's going to the line for the N1.
That was a nice finish there. I mean, in the air like that, knowing that you're going to get that foul, going to come down hard, that's just a nice finish there.
And now Jaquan Thomas, who I just mentioned, who's averaging just about 14 a game, checks in for Delsa Lowry. And the leading scorer for Potsdam, Dante Langley, makes the N1. So it is 12-5 here with 5 minutes into the game.
Looks like number 14 for the Blue Devils is now in as well, trying to match the size.
And yeah, Gary Sykes is in, and Daquan Smith, his shot gets blocked. Here comes Langley. And he finishes once again.
Almost the same finish as he just had trying to get the foul, but he did not get it. And Potsdam is rolling right now.
Fredonia needs a timeout to talk things over. 14:43 left in the first half. Potsdam is up 14-5. And then taking a look at the individual stats for Fredonia. Daquan Smith, who had 13 yesterday, averages 11.1 on the year. Bidiako Nyasa raised his average to 9 a game yesterday, and Isaiah Ice averages 7.8. And Mark Morgan is averaging 6.3. So Crescenzo, we'll see if it's kind of like yesterday, you know, where the Blue Devils start out slow, make a comeback, hit a low spot, come back again, and then, you know, yesterday was just too late. So we'll see how they respond to that today, and, you know, if they can keep coming back and hopefully sustain those comebacks.
Isaiah Ice looks really energized right now, though, so that's definitely a good sign to start out. Took him a little while to get energized in last night's game.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Ice drives in.
Travel.
And he traveled. So Morgan will come in for Riddick. This is Simpson now for Potsdam. Into Saunders. Hands it off to Simpson again. He drives in, puts up the shot. No good. Saunders is there for the rebound, and he puts it up and in. Christoph Saunders scores his first 2 points of the day, and the Bears take their biggest lead of the day. Also for Potsdam, number 32, Dante Viskovich is in. And for the Blue Devils, number 32, Bidiako Nyasa. Morgan finds Sykes, and he can't hang on, and it'll be going the other way. That's something, too, that we haven't really mentioned yet. A lot of times when Gary Sykes is in, they try to find him on the pick and roll. And a lot of times, you know, he can't hang on, or, you know, it's a bad pass, but it seems like they can never get that pick and roll to Gary Sykes, and he's the biggest guy for the Blue Devils, too.
Yes.
Three-point shot is no good. Langley gets it. Jump stop, kicks it out. Ice steals it.
That's a nice job by Ice. Way to realize where you were on the court.
And he gets stripped.
Just good recognition, though, from Ice just to steal it away.
And this is Jaquan Thomas. Nice dribble move, kicks it to Saunders. And he lays that one in.
That's a great move there by the big man.
And it's 18-5. Nyasa to Ice. Calls out for the screen. This is Gary Sykes on the screen. Now Ice kicks it to Morgan for three, and that one is short. Thomas comes up the court with speed. Loses it, but gets it back. Gives it to Langley. And he traveled. Now Colden George will come in for Tyler Roberts.
Looks like Tanner Stone is in for Potsdam. He's number 11.
So Nyasa will bring it up for Fredonia. He gives it to Colton George. To Sykes. Hands it off to Nyasa, who hands it off to Ice. They're just playing around the perimeter now. And Ice tries a three. That one is short. Morgan gets the offensive rebound, puts it up. No good.
See, I don't understand why Morgan would not pass it out and get the offense reset. He was pretty much not going to make it in. There's a lot of bodies around him. Right there, he needed to reset that offense. Not a good sequence for Fredonia.
Saunders out to Viskovich. His three-point shot is no good. Now Ice gets away from his defender, kicks it to Morgan, gives it to Colden George. Over to Nyasa.
That's a hard hit. Let's see who they called on. Looks like it's going to be Fredonia's ball.
It's going to go to number 1, Jaquan Thomas.
And one thing that is really close with Potsdam, they're really close in turnovers compared to their opponents. They given up 320 turnovers.
Nice reverse layup from Mark Morgan.
That's a beautiful reverse layup.
And Morgan is on the board.
But speaking of turnovers, it's 320 to 314. So they're very close compared to the field.
Shot by Thomas is off the mark. Sykes with the rebound.
And
up to Morgan.
And it looks like someone is hurt, unfortunately.
A nice move from Mark Morgan, and he finishes. As Christoph Saunders is hurt in the backcourt, as he is limping around.
I think Gary landed on his knee and rolled up on it, almost like when in football where you land on it and you don't see him from behind. Kind of landed like that, so he's going to go to the bench, but he walked up, so looks like he's okay for right now.
So Armstrong comes back in for Saunders. Delso Lowry. Now this is Viskovich. Nice spin move,
Nice.
and he puts it up, but not in. Now Nyasa drives in, puts up the shot, no good. Sykes with the offensive rebound, and he puts it in.
That's a nice job. Way to rebound and way to put it right back in. I mean, you're the tallest guy around, and that's just your job. Just put it right back in. Unlike Morgan when he did last time, he wasn't the tallest guy, so it's going to even be a harder shot to make in.
Three-point shot is no good off the hand of Delso Lowry. Morgan with the rebound. He comes up the court with speed, but puts on the brakes and tries to set up the offense with Nyasa.
And one thing that Fredonia can really take advantage of is an assist. Opponents against Potsdam, they have 272 assists compared to 245. So there's another thing. Keep your pass up. And right there, a mid-range jumper is good from number 32. So if they keep up their passing, get those assists going, it looks like their defense can't keep up with that speed.
So Fredonia on a 8-0 run here gets this game back to a 5-point game. 9:50 left in the first half. Potsdam is up 18-13.
And now, as they go into timeout, it looks like if I'm Fredonia, keep up this pace, keep up the high pressure, you know, continue to be quick and flow, see how the game goes. Don't try to overthink it because you have nothing to lose here. You know, it's just another game. You're 2-18. You have nothing to lose. Play your heart out. And as for Potsdam, you know, you got to do a better job of creating your defense. You know, you're on this 8-0 run, or Fredonia's on this 8-0 run. You got to make sure to stop them here.
And I think the key to Fredonia's comeback here is that they're not settling for the three-point shot like they were in the early stages of this game. They're starting to work their offense more and get some higher percentage shots down low.
Yes.
And that's working to their advantage as Armstrong travels.
Yep.
But I think they just got to do a better job of getting that flow to their offense because, you know, once they can do that, that works a lot better than the three-point shot.
I don't think that we even talked about it, but the fouls, much less than at this point in yesterday's game. It's only 7 total. I believe it was over 10 at this point.
Easily, yeah. There were, I believe, 24 in the first half yesterday. Now Biersbach drives in, puts on the brakes, gets fouled, but he traveled.
That was a big travel call there. That would have been another 2 points and maybe momentum really going on their side.
And we're going to have a quick substitution. Messiah Hill comes back in for Biersbach, or actually Gary Sykes.
And I like that move. I mean, you got to make sure you rest number 14 for the Blue Devils, so that way when the bigger man comes in, he's able to go back in as well. Have that smaller lineup right now.
Langley's step back three is too strong. Rebounded by Viskovich. Back out to Del Sol Lowry. This is Viskovich. Shoots. And that one is too strong.
Morgan has been getting a lot of playing time, number 52 for the Blue Devils, and he really has come on strong so far.
And now Bidiako Nyasa's three-point shot is good and is back to a two-point game.
Fredonia looks to be alive so far, and for his three-pointers, usually he doesn't really hit three-pointers, but right now it's been hitting. He is usually a 33% three-point shooter, but he made that one in.
Three-point shot is no good from Potsdam, but Viskovich is there for the offensive rebound, and he got fouled, so he'll be going to the line for two.
And you see that Fredonia was a little bit upset with that. It was either a double dribble or a travel, and the whole bench was erupted a couple seconds ago, but first one, no good.
So Fredonia is still on a 11-0 scoring run here. We'll see if Viskovich can make this, as he does. So Potsdam gets their first point in a few minutes, actually. And now Saunders comes in for Viskovich. Nyasa handles point guard duties. And now Hill hands it off to Nyasa, who hands it off to George. He drives in, puts on the brakes, kicks it back out. Nyasa's pass is stolen by Del Sol Lowry.
And that's a bad pass there.
And he doesn't get fouled, he traveled. So Fredonia will get it right back.
That was a bad pass there. I mean,
yeah, I don't know where he was going with that.
I do not know. But good eyes, though, for the Bears to come up with that one and a timeout. I believe it's by Fredonia.
We're going to have a 30-second timeout called by Phil Seymour. So once again, the score is 19-16 in favor of Potsdam. 7:43 left in the first half. And Potsdam, well, each team has taken 18 shots from the field. Potsdam has made 8. Fredonia's made 7. So
yeah, it's pretty close so far. It's just, you know, the foul troubles hurt Fredonia a little bit, but not as much as yesterday, where it was just every other play was a foul.
Yeah. Only 8 fouls here so far. And that's still a lot, but not compared to what we're used to.
Yep. Surprised Gary Sykes is not back in the game with number 0 for Potsdam back in. It looks like his knee is okay.
Morgan drives in, and he finishes.
Wow, he still made it in.
Mark Morgan now has 6 and gets Fredonia back within 1.
Way to finish there.
Armstrong to Saunders. Hands it off to Thomas. He drives in. Shot is no good. And they're going to get Mark Morgan on the foul. Actually, Chad Biersbach. So he'll pick up his second, and now Matt Perez is going to check in. We didn't see him until garbage time yesterday, Crescenzo.
Yeah, he's only had 2 starts on the year, but he's played in all 19 games, but he really did not come in, until very late in the game. And earlier on in the year, he was coming in and playing, 10, 15 minutes in the game. So maybe they found something different, and they had to go with a different rotation. That definitely happens, throughout the year, where a struggling team like this is going through changes and needs to go through changes and see the rotation. Colton George wasn't really in earlier in the year. Now he's pretty much been in a lot of the time. So
Thomas misses both free throws. So Fredonia is still on their, actually now it's a 13-1 run over the last 5 or 6 minutes. Colton George now has it at the top of the key, gives it to Messiah Hill. He drives in, lays it up and in.
And way to finish there from Hill.
And Fredonia takes their first lead of the game.
Way to stay patient, way to, stay above and equal. If you start leaning one way or the other, you're going to lose momentum in there. The way to stay pressured.
Saunders now.
There's
No foul. No offensive foul is called, but he missed a shot. Perez comes away with it.
I'm surprised they still haven't substituted Sykes in.
Or even Kadeem Riddick, for that matter.
Yeah.
Now Nyasa.
But Hill has had the hot hand, so they really can't substitute him in.
Nyasa's just calling out the play now. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. They got to get going here. And Nyasa gets fouled. So
that's a smart play.
They're fortunate that that worked out because, like I said, he was calling out the play with 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Well, that's a smart play there for me. I mean, if you really look at it, you see how, there's only 8 seconds, but you're wasting time. And that is something that Fredonia, if they waste as much time as possible and keep it close, there's a good chance they can come away with a victory, and an upset victory against Potsdam.
So now Nyasa.
Now he's going to call it a little quicker.
Yeah. Over to Messiah Hill. He tries a 3, and that one's off the back of the iron. This is Simpson. And he carried it. So Fredonia gets it back. Up 2019.
Silly plays here for Potsdam. I mean, just silly turnovers here. Travel, carrying, travel. Potsdam is really playing with no discipline right now and no urgency, it looks like.
Yeah, Fredonia's been able to take control of this game. About 5.5 left in the first half.
And I'm surprised Kane isn't back in for Potsdam. I mean, he was really bringing the energy and bringing the flow, but somehow he's still not in.
Yeah. Once again, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Morgan gives it to Colton George. He heaves the 3. No good, but Messiah Hill is there and almost put that one back in. But
what a play by Hill. I mean, that would have been phenomenal if he really did get that one in. That was a smart play to realize that wasn't going in, going underneath, and was able to almost, from an alley-oop standpoint, get that one back in.
Ice and Johnson come back in for Nyasa and Hill. And still no Kane for Potsdam.
I am really surprised about that, especially the way he was starting with all that energy and flow.
Yeah. He was getting done on offense and defense.
Yes.
And just as the first free throw is good. And just his size, the presence of having that big 6'7" body there,
Yeah.
you know, it's a great height advantage when you're playing against, you know, the tallest guy for Fredonia is Gary Sykes, and he's only 6'4",
Yeah.
or 6'5".
Looks like Johnson's back in the game, though, to somehow equal the power.
Pass is stolen. Armstrong kicks it back out. Delso Lowry pulls up and swishes that one through. 23-20 now. Colton George to Mark Morgan. Out to Ice.
Let's see if what Ice can do here.
Ice drives in, and his shot is blocked.
That was a big block there. And now it puts Fredonia, they got to work fast. They only got 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
So Colton George gets it in the corner. He drives in,
They had Matt Perez in the corner.
and he finds Perez. But Fredonia was unaware that they had 7 seconds left, and they turned that one over.
They had Matt Perez in the corner for a good 3 to 4 seconds that he was open. Colin George just didn't see it because of where he was on the court and where he was looking to go. So a missed opportunity there for Fredonia.
Now this is Langley. He drives in on George, and his shot is no good, and we're going to have an offensive foul called on Christoph Saunders.
I'm surprised that one was offensive foul because compared to the other one that he had against Messiah Hill, I mean, that one was a vicious one, and they didn't even call it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Potsdam is a little bit tired because this game was supposed to be on Friday. I know I said it in the first broadcast, but this game was supposed to be on Friday at like 7, and because of the snow and how cold it was, they decided to move it to Sunday, better conditions, and it paid off because it's so warm outside.
Yeah. It feels great today.
Yeah, it feels great.
Think about putting some shorts on when I go home. Colton George for 3. Off the mark. Now Delso Lowry drives in and gets stripped. Daquan Smith comes up the court. He's got numbers. This is Isaiah Ice.
And
Reverse layup. Rolls around and in.
That's a nice job by Isaiah Ice. And Daquan Smith, I mean, that was a beautiful opportunity to be patient. Let the play come to you. And look what happened. Now they got 2 points. They're only down by 1 with 3:30 to go.
Now Simpson traveled on his way to the hoop.
Another travel. I mean, these turnovers are killing Potsdam.
Yeah, so Potsdam is up to 11 turnovers so far. Fredonia 6. And that was something that Fredonia improved on a lot yesterday. They they didn't turn the ball over as much as their game against Brockport on Tuesday. They had 29 turnovers.
Yeah, you can't have 29 and win.
Kadeem Riddick is going to get fouled. 21, so that is going to be Aaron Armstrong. So another foul for Potsdam is that good start to this game for the Bears is
Yeah, it seems
long history.
ever since Kane went on the bench, it looked like for us.
Riddick puts that one in, and Fredonia regains the lead. And yeah, Kane, surprisingly, he has his sweatshirt back on the bench. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm surprised he's been out so long. This is Langley to Viskovich. Over to Delsa Lowry. Drives in. Nice take. And one. Really strong take from number 12, Danny Delsa Lowry. And the Bears retake the lead, and he's going to the line for the N1.
Looks like the ref is saying something to a lot of the players about chirping or something like that. Looks like to Riddick especially.
Yeah, Kadeem Riddick's a lot of games. He's either joking around with the refs or asking for further explanations. So
Yeah.
he has a history of communicating with the officials, as he's doing so right now.
They're going to call a foul, which is, well, not a foul. It looks like he went early, and he's still chirping with the coaches.
Yeah.
So, as we're going to see if he can make up for it. The free throw is good.
So 26-24, 2:46 left. Potsdam's putting on the full court press now. Daquan Smith uses a Riddick screen. He drives in, puts up the shot, and one.
That's a huge N1 opportunity here for Fredonia.
Daquan Smith ties the game up, and he's going to the line, trying to retake the lead.
And for Daquan Smith, usually averages around 22, 23 minutes a game. And scoring, he's obviously the top leader, around
And
11 points a game.
Those are his first 3 points of the game. So 27-26, 2.5 left in the first half.
I think I'm more impressed with Fredonia's defense so far. I mean, their offense hasn't been clicking, but their defense has been great.
And there it is again. Daquan Smith forces a jump ball, and this time it'll be staying here.
It looks like number one for the Bears, his elbow, something wrong with his elbow. He's rubbing it a little bit, but he can still move.
This is Armstrong. Viskovich now over to Delsa Lowry. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He pulls up for three. Long three from way downtown is good.
Wow, splash with that one. I mean, that was nothing but net.
That was a nice shot there. So now Riddick drives in. Strong take, but he can't finish. Johnson tips it out, goes right to Thomas. He comes up the court, puts on the brakes. His shot is short. Langley with the rebound, and that one goes out of bounds.
That's a nice job by Ice, though. Good block there to get that one. You know, you got to be happy with that. I mean, that's a really nice job there for Fredonia.
As Daquan Smith steals that, he comes in all alone, and he finishes, and the game is tied up with 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
This has been an impressive half defensively for Fredonia. Maybe not offensively, that they're doing just what they need to do to keep themselves in the game, but defensively they have been really good.
Yeah, a really good defensive effort for Fredonia. It kind of makes you wonder, where's this been all year?
I also think Potsdam is not playing to the potential that they usually are playing at. I mean, like I said, maybe it has to do with travel, maybe playing an early game. Something's off, and ever since Keane went to the bench, something has been off with their offense. Maybe they're resting him for the whole second half, but as of right now, I mean, Potsdam has not been what their record indicates.
So now Gary Sykes and Bidiako Nyasa come in for Cody Johnson and Colden George. Now, Potsdam, Crescenzo, they are sitting at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're in 5th right now, so this is a crucial game for them.
This is definitely a big game for them.
Second free throw is good.
And for Fredonia, imagine, we threw out Potsdam's chances of going to the playoffs. That's just huge going into next season.
Yeah, as they're only separated by 2 games from, well, 1 from New Paltz, who's in 6th place, and 2 from Oneonta, who's in 7th. So huge implications on this game. Daquan Smith for 3. Short. Delsa Lowry now. Nice pass to Armstrong. And blocked by Daquan Smith.
And Daquan Smith looks to be hobbling a little bit, laying on his lower back really hard. But that was a beautiful block. And like I said, their defense has been stellar all game long.
Yeah, that was a great job by Smith to hustle back, and he got up there.
And he was the one who created the shot, too.
He's not even 6 feet tall. And now Viskovich misses. Sykes gets a rebound.
And if you're Fredonia, slow down the game. You want to be the ones with the last shot of this half.
So now Riddick has it. Cross-court pass to Nyasa. That was a dangerous pass. Now
Good
Ice
movement.
gets it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Smith gets that one poked away. He gets it back. And he pushes off his defender. So
That's a bad sequence if you're Fredonia. I mean, you got to go in there, at least take a shot and do something there, not give up the foul. But instead, they're going to give up the foul, and now they just got to defend. I mean, either way, though, this is a great first half for Fredonia against a team that's sitting in 5th place.
they're trying to play spoiler today. Now Langley, his baseline jumper is good. 2 seconds left, and that'll do it for the first half. As the Potsdam Bears take a 4-point lead into the half. They are up 33-29. And just real quick, the leading scorers at the half for Potsdam. Langley has 9, Delso Lowry has 8, and Kane has 6, and we haven't seen him since he came out with 16 minutes left in the game, and we haven't seen him since. And then for Fredonia, Mark Morgan has 6, and Nyasa, Ice, and Smith all have 5. So that'll do it, and we'll be back in a few minutes for some more first half stats and to get you ready for the second half. Thank you.
Representing it here tonight. Hold on.
Louisiana, murder on the beat. Something for y'all to cut up to, you know? Yeah. Everybody get your roll on. I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let that thing loose, girl, in so long. You been inside, know you like to lay low. I've been people.
have Simpson for Potsdam. This is Armstrong now. Del Sol Lowry hands it off to Simpson. He drives in, puts up the shot, gets fouled, count it, and one.
Way to finish there. Just a strong take and a strong finish. As a couple players think it was a travel, but either way, he will go down the line.
So Del Sol Lowry has that was Simpson. So he has just 2 points today, and the season average is 1.4. So
yeah,
he started, but he's not one of the players that we mentioned that is averaging double figures. They have 4 players in double figures. Nyasa's 3 is short.
and it looks like Fredonia is going back with those 3-pointers. I mean, not a good sign if you're Fredonia. Work your offense, be small. Their offenses run on the 3-pointers. They come when they make opportunities.
And Johnson comes the other way and lays it up and in.
A great job there by Johnson. Way to recognize where the defender was and be able to finish with it on his right side.
Simpson now down low to Armstrong. He dribbles it out. Now back into Kane. Puts up the hook shot, and it's good.
Already Kane making an impact.
4 of 4 from the field. Kadeem Riddick now. Out top to Nyasa, over to Smith. Loses it momentarily, gets it back, now gives it to Riddick. Back out to Johnson. He tries another 3, and it's good. Cody Johnson hits the 3. Back to a 3-point game.
Yep, now the 3 laid in. See, from the opportunities it made, then you go to your 3-pointers. But them just shooting 3s and trying to rely on those 3s, that's not what this offense is made of.
So now Kane gets it. He backs down Johnson.
Johnson needs to stop here.
And count it. Serene Kane, 5 of 5 from the field, 10 points, and he's going to the line for the N1.
Gary Sykes needs to come in, or someone needs to come in, because Kane is going to dominate this team so far. And, you know, he's been dominating pretty much his whole game, 4 for 4 from the field, like you said. But
5 for 5
5 for 5 now. But someone needs to come in and slow him down.
Like I said, it's really interesting why he sat out for 16 minutes when he's been the most dominant player out there for both sides today, as he makes that free throw.
And now Hill is on Kane with Isaiah Ice controlling.
Now this is Nyasa. He drives in, gets stripped, goes right to Daquan Smith. He gives it to Ice, drives in. Nice find from Messiah Hill, and he puts it up and in.
That's a great job there from Ice to be able to recognize where Hill was. He was in a better position, better to put it up and in than Isaiah Ice, so Hill had the easier advantage, but great job there.
Nice pass from Kane, yeah.
Kane again, he has been sensational here today.
And Fredonia needs to talk things over. They call a timeout. So just about a little over 3 minutes into the second half, and Potsdam is up to a 42-36 lead.
It's just incredible at this point. I mean, you know, what Kane has been impacting the whole game. The whole game he's been impacting, and it's just, I can't believe it. Can't believe that he was sat out for the whole, pretty much the second half of the first half.
Yeah, because like we said, he's been playing so well, number one, and number two is size. He's 6'7". No one for Fredonia can match up with him size-wise.
The only one is still 3 inches shorter, you know.
Yeah, Gary Sykes.
So
and we might have to give Kane a couple inches with that hair. He might
True.
be 6'8".
Yes, 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, as long as he's balling out, I guess it doesn't really matter what your hair is, you know.
Yeah.
As long as you put up the numbers.
So Nyasa will inbound it to Daquan Smith. He gives it to Ice. Ice drives in
Hard crossover.
and puts up the shot, and it's good.
That's a nice finish there for Ice. He had a hard crossover. It almost slipped, but he was able to recover and be able to get past and put up the shot against Keenan. He was still able to succeed in that faction.
Yeah, and he almost got it stolen away from him, too. And now this is Kane. He gets double-teamed. Good call there to double-team Kane. Now Fredonia's back in position, but Langley drives in. No good. And guess who? Kane is there for the offensive rebound, and he puts it back up and in.
Surprised he really is not a starter on this team. I mean, when we were really looking at it, you know, like I said, he has missed a couple games, you know, starting. He's played in all of them, but he's 14 games started compared to his 19 games played. So he has missed a couple of starts here. But the way that he's looking, his feet and his movement, maybe he's just hyped for the playoffs.
Nyasa gets fouled on the floor, so no shot, as the ref said multiple times, if you could hear him. So Ice will be inbounding it from under the Fredonia hoop. He gives it to Riddick. He tries the three. That's an air ball.
See, what was I don't understand the point of that three. That was just a bad possession there. And Riddick, I don't know what he was trying to do. But you got to slow the game down and really make your possessions count.
This is Langley. He drives in. Strip from Smith.
That's a nice job by Ice. To a nice strip there. And way to stay in front of him. Don't
Actually,
let him get side to side.
Daquan Smith.
Oh, did I say Ice?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Daquan Smith,
Yeah,
excuse
Smith
me.
has had a few of those today.
Yeah.
And a few yesterday. So he's really been playing better defense as of late.
Especially there, you know, if he starts to get off to the side with, you know, that spin around move, that means he's going to get past you or you're going to be on the side of him. You want to really just keep him in front of you so that way your hands are in front and when he tries to take a shot, you can potentially block it there.
Messiah Hill drives in and he slams it down.
Oh, what a dunk.
Wow, Messiah Hill with authority.
He looked for that earlier in the game and he couldn't get it.
And he has a big smile on his face now, as he should.
I think the whole crowd erupted there. I mean, maybe that's the momentum that they needed. So
I think that was the first dunk we've ever got to call.
That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. And Smith
Now,
again forces a jump ball. It'll be staying here, but again, Daquan Smith putting on, applying some good pressure on defense.
And now you start to hear the crowd get into it. You start hearing a lot of voices. Let's see what Fredonia can do after that dunk.
This is Delso Lowry. He drives in, and he's all alone. He does not dunk, but
I thought he was going to.
yeah.
He was wide open, and Fredonia pretty much let him back in. But now it's 6 points. You know, keep it close if you're Fredonia. Don't let it get any bigger than this. You got to make every shot count at this point.
Smith dribbling around. Now gives it to Nyasa. Drives in, puts up the floater, no good. Hill's there with the offensive rebound. Riddick over to Nyasa, 5 seconds left. Nyasa's got to put one up, and he does. No good.
And the worst coming out of that, you wasted 30 seconds. You know, every second counts, especially when you're facing, you know, a playoff caliber team at this point.
Langley with the shot and Nyasa with the foul. Roberts and Morgan will be coming back in after the first free throw.
And speaking of free throws, as a team for Potsdam, they're pretty good. I mean, they're 349 for 469, so they have a pretty good percentage. They're 744 as a team, which is really good, you know, as a team, compared to Fredonia, where they are 269 out of 377. So they are 714, or that's the field, excuse me.
And Langley makes both free throws. So Isaiah Ice will be handling the ball here. As he drives in now. Kicks it out. Smith over to Morgan. Crosses up at his defender. Kicks it back out. Daquan Smith, top of the key three is good. 48-43.
I like that shot, but I would have rather see Hill with it. Hill was, if Smith would have passed it over to his right, Hill was wide open for that three, but either way, he made it, so 3 points on the board for Fredonia.
Now Armstrong down low into Kane. Hill on him with his long arms.
Hill's doing he's doing a really good job. I mean, I know Kane made that in. That's because, you know, he's 6'7" and a lot bigger than Hill, but Hill's doing a really nice job, a really good job to see Hill bringing a lot of effort into today's game.
So 50-43 is the score with 13 minutes left. Roberts over to Smith.
Let's see what Smith can do. Might be a screen coming. There should have been a screen, but Isaiah Ice, nice move.
Offensive foul.
See there, someone needed to create a screen for either Isaiah Ice or Smith. You know, someone needed to create a screen there, I think, for Smith, because there was time running out, and instead passes it to Ice, who tries to pass by defenders, but unfortunately it's an offensive foul.
So 12:45 left in the game. Potsdam up by 7. This is Delso Lowry to Langley. Kane hands it off to Langley. And
now it'll be a foul.
Tyler Roberts is going to pick up his second.
See, if you're Fredonia, don't get into any foul trouble here. I mean, you don't want them going to the line and really creating a 10-point lead where it feels like a 10-point lead is a 20-point lead to Fredonia, where it's just so hard to get back in. If you keep it to single digits here, you know, with the last 8 or so minutes, there's about 12:30 to go. But if you keep it to single digits with the last 8 minutes, you're really creating a tight atmosphere for Potsdam.
And now this is Kane. Out to Langley. His top of the key three is too strong.
And Colin George ran all the way back into his own territory, or into Potsdam's territory. Almost didn't defend his defender, but now it's another 2 points for Potsdam.
That was number 1, Jaquan Thomas. One of the leading scorer, the third leading scorer for the Bears, averaging 14 a game, but that's just his first 2 points today. Morgan in the corner. He drives in. And we're going to have a blocking foul. So 2 shots coming up for Morgan.
And if you're Fredonia, you got to make these free throws. These are really crucial, especially how close this really is. This is really a close game coming into the last 10 minutes.
Morgan misses the first one.
He's got to make at least one of these here.
As he does. 52-44. Fredonia with the full court press. Almost stolen. Now Potsdam comes in 3-on-1.
Just
Langley lays that in.
Just a bad defensive presence. You got to know, like, don't steal the ball at this point. Play tight defense. You're still 11:26 in the game, and you're down by 10. You got to play tight and smart defense at this point. You don't need to rush anything. You don't need to steal at this point. You're not down with only 3 minutes left.
Nyasa drives in.
Hill was wide open for a three.
And he banks it in.
Hill was jumping on the far side of the corner for a three, but anyway, they get a couple points here.
Langley down low into Kane.
There he is again.
And there he is.
I don't think he's missed a shot all game long. 17 points here for Kane.
And
they need to get.
And he didn't even play. He was on the bench for 16 minutes in the first half.
And now, see, and this is where this is frustrating because now Gary Sykes is looking to be subbed in. He should have been subbed in about 5 minutes ago.
Roberts puts up the shot, no good. Thomas. Thought about that three, now gives it to Langley, who drives in, kicks it out to Delso Lowry. Puts up the shot. A little too strong. Morgan with the rebound. And
somehow gets in the hands.
Somehow gets to Roberts, and his shot is off the mark. So Fredonia unable to come away with points in transition. 10-point game, 10 minutes left in the game. Once again, I'm Kevin Syracuse with Crescenzo Fano. Langley drives in. Thomas puts up the floater. Too strong. That was an air ball, and it'll be going to Fredonia. And Kane comes out for Saunders. And Serene Kane, 8 for 8 from the field.
Yeah, he has been on point the whole game.
17 points, 8 rebounds, and, well, 1 assist. Colton George now. Morgan, spin move. Gets blocked, but a foul. He'll be going back to the line.
As number 0 for Potsdam is owning up to the foul, as his head coach was yelling. Now he's got to make these.
Yeah, I mean, they always matter, but
right now
now
it really does.
Within the final 10 minutes of the game, when you're down by 10.
Especially where, you know, the only offense really Potsdam has had is Kane. I mean, they have a couple of other players who have had 10 and 13, but, you know, now you see who's on 4 points, 2 points, 2 points, 3 points, 13 points. You know, that's 13 points is by number 23, and now that's a missed opportunity for Fredonia. You missed 2 points there. Could have been an 8-point game instead of a 10-point.
Yeah, and when you're down 10 with 10 minutes left, they all matter that much more. And that turnaround shot is good from Viskovic.
And now it's a 12-point game instead of a 10-point game. So, you know, it looks to be slipping away for Fredonia. They got to somehow find the momentum back.
Colton George now to Gary Sykes. Down low into Morgan. And that one gets stolen. Here come the Bears. This is Simpson.
And that's a great defensive play.
No fouls
by
called.
Sykes.
Now Nyasa gets it. Pulls up for 3. Off the mark.
See, they always want to pull up for that 3. Maybe settle down, get the 2. At this point, you got to make clean and efficient shots, not those sparkling, spectacular shots at this point of the game.
Foul's going to be called on Morgan. Ice and Smith are coming back in. Thomas is at the line. Misses the first one.
Seeing if he's going to make the second.
Makes the second one. Timeout called, Potsdam. So 59-46, 8:36 left in the game.
So this is where, you know, how much pride does Fredonia have? I mean, you're in reach of this game. This is where you want to, you know, it's almost like a, you know, NFL playoff team, or, you know, almost going to make the wild card. It's like, hey, we might not be making the playoffs, but we want to throw off the team that is trying to. That's just as good as anything that you really see. You know, this is where pride has to come in for Fredonia, and momentum will come in. You know, will it? We got to see, but this is where I know for me, I don't want to go down losing when it's just this close to a team that's trying to make the playoffs. I want to be hungry at this point.
Yeah, we'll see how they come out after this timeout. Mark Morgan will bring it up. Gives it to Daquan Smith. This is Sykes. Morgan, back to Smith. He tries a three, and it's good. Daquan Smith.
That's a big three-pointer right there. Get him back on track.
As Smith is now up to 8 points.
Down by 13. Oh, nope, sorry.
As that shot is no good from Saunders.
Looks like they're 52 to 59 now.
I think it's should be 49. And Sykes lays that one in. So 59. Scoreboard says 54. Yep, okay, there it is.
It's 52.
Back down to 51. There was a mistake there. So 59-51, 7.5 left. Simpson pulls up. No good. And Saunders, with the offensive rebound, kicks it back out. Simpson has it.
Simpson averages 11.4 minutes a game, but he doesn't start any of them, so he's a key contributor off the bench. Let's see what he can do.
Now Langley drives in, puts up the shot. No good. Sykes with the rebound. And
Sykes has to hold on to that ball there, and that's a costly turnover for the Blue Devils here with just under 7 minutes to go.
He's got to come down strong with that. And,
he's got to realize who's around him.
Yeah, exactly. And now that leads to the and one.
That's
Jaquan Thomas.
That is the worst sequence possible for Gary Sykes. I mean, you had the ball, momentum was on your side, and it looks like he's going to even be taken out.
Good call there.
Yeah, that was not a good
that
sequence
just
there.
A bad sequence there. That's 6-point swing, you know?
Yeah, and now the assistant head coach is talking to him. Being like, you got to hold on to that ball. Because you were in it, and now, you know, the momentum was going, and then all of a sudden.
And they get another offensive rebound.
This is just going bad for worse for the Blue Devils. They got to do something. They got to make a big stop here to change it.
And Thomas pulls up. Can't connect with that one. The Blue Devils do get the rebound this time. This is Ice. And he gets fouled. That kind of looked like all ball, but.
It also looked like a travel. He took some big steps.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So Isaiah Ice is at the line for two.
Now it looks like Kane put on his sweatshirt, so it looks like he's going to be done. Unless they bring him back in.
Are those does he have pants on now too?
No. He has like leggings like number 23 has.
Oh, okay. From here it looked like his Ice makes the second one. It looked like he put his sweatpants on, but
no.
Okay, no, yeah. So we'll see if Kane comes back in. Back to an 8-point game. Thomas now on the left wing. Drives in. He gets stolen. Here comes Isaiah Ice.
And Ice has to be careful.
And he gets fouled. Yeah, Ice has got to be careful.
That should have been travel. That one should have at least been a travel. That you took at least 3 or 4 steps before you even got fouled. And poor judgment there from Ice because he had open teammates, but he wanted to drive in the lane. You have to be smart here with 6:10 to go.
Yeah, Ice has got to do a better job of recognizing, you know,
and
that he's getting double teamed and either kick it to someone or
Potsdam's not happy.
Even dribble it back out. And, you know, it did work out here. He drew the foul, but you got to be careful in those situations. You're getting double teamed.
He was quadruple teamed at that point.
And he makes the free throw.
The good part about this is that, and it looks like Kane is going to come back in. But the good part about this is you stop the clock, so you're not wasting any time. But you don't want to risk it every single time driving into the lane.
And Fredonia's brought their defense. Ice makes both. Their defense is already back under the Potsdam hoop. So they are going to theoretically be ready in position. And now.
And let's see what happens with Kane back in the game.
And that was good defense from Cody Johnson. He prevented that pass down low into Kane, but Daquan Smith picks up a foul.
And I wonder if they might consider bringing back Gary Sykes. I mean, I know he had the mess up, but no one's been able to stop Kane, so I wonder if they're going to be able to bring him back in and be a bigger man. You know, he's not taller, but he's got some more muscle than Kane, it looks like, some size on him. So they might be able to bring him back in and be able to stop him for just, you know, all you need to do is stop him for 2-3 minutes.
Or how about Messiah Hill?
They could bring him back too.
He played really well defense,
but he was still
really
be able to make it in.
Too.
So, you know, even against Hill.
True. So he makes both free throws. That is Delso Lowry. This is Ice now. Drives in. And Coach wanted another travel from Ice.
Yeah.
Nice missed that one, and there was no foul called.
That's at least the third or fourth time that he's tried that, and Coach has not been happy.
Yep. So now this is Armstrong. Hands it off to Delso Lowry. Drives in, kicks it back out. Langley. Good defense from Smith. He's on him. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Langley kicks it back out. Delso Lowry for 3. That is too strong. Kane falls down, and
they're going to call the foul on Ice.
Nope, they're going to call it on Cody Johnson. So that's his 4th. They're going to have to.
They're going to have to bring back Sykes in.
You got to go back to either Sykes or Hill, unless they want Cody Johnson to just finish this game out. And if he gets fouled, he gets fouled. And then they'll bring someone in. But I think you got to go to either Sykes or Messiah Hill. Yep, and here comes Hill. That's the right move, I say.
Yeah.
Oh, but he comes in from Morgan. Well, that's all right. You get two bigger guys at least.
Exactly.
For Fredonia.
And now,
I guess they're just going to let Johnson finish this game out.
Yep, and they're going to try the full court press.
Now they back off and let Daquan Smith bring it up. This is Ice now. Calling out for the screen. Johnson gives him the screen, but Ice goes nowhere with it. Now feeds it into Johnson. Backs down his defender. Puts it in.
Play. They noticed a mismatch. Kane was on Ice. Cody Johnson was with number 12 for Potsdam, and so now, you know, that was just a clear mismatch. Good thing there was no offensive foul there.
So back to a 6-point game. 4:40 left in the game. Delso Lowry. To Thomas. He tries the 3. And that one's in and out. Tipped out of bounds. Going to Fredonia.
This is a key basket right here. I mean, making it a 4-point game, you're going to really put Potsdam on the ropes here.
So, yeah, Fredonia is trying to play spoiler today as the playoffs are – they're not eliminated yet, but there's a high chance that they don't make the playoffs. They're 5 games out with 5 games left, so they need a miracle to happen. Daquan Smith now.
And Cody Johnson's wide open in the corner. Literally no one's on him.
Now Colton George tries the 3. Short. Hill with the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets. Ice drives in. Puts it up and in.
Finishes.
Isaiah Ice with the strong take. And it's back to a 4-point game.
That's a nice finish there. That was much better than the previous 2 times where, you know, it looked like there was a travel, and then he got the 2 fouls, and one of them it didn't make in. So that was better than the 2 or 3 previous times he went in. He created some a gap, and when he saw the gap, he went right in and sped past the defense, was able to put in the left-handed layup.
So 3:58 left. Fredonia's down 4, and this is one of the closest games that they've been in this year.
I think the closest.
Yeah.
If I have to say.
Yeah, because, well, no, you know what? Let's see. The game against Buff State, they only lost by 10. They lost to, well, earlier in the year they had some close losses. Deauville.
Waynesburg,
they lost by,
really early in the year.
They lost to Deauville by 8. Waynesburg by 3. Buff State by 10.
Portland was close too, back on December 7th.
Yep, and then they beat Geneseo in double overtime. They beat Pitt Bradford by a lot. But they haven't had, as of late, been about almost a month since they've had a real close game like this.
Yeah.
So, win or lose, this is a great game for a young team like this to learn.
Yes,
to learn
definitely.
from and use it for next year to, grow and get better. So here we go, Del Sol Lowry into Kane.
Hard take.
Yeah, no foul called, and they're gonna call the foul now.
I don't know where the foul came from.
They're gonna get ice. This is gonna be his third.
That's a big foul. That's a really big foul there.
Yeah, so now Langley's at the line. But it's worth noting,
Only down by 4 points.
Potsdam has missed 8 free throws today. They're just 14 of 22, good for 64%.
They have not been good at the line.
As they
And
missed
again-
this one, so this time so far it's worked out. And Morgan comes back in for Hill. It might just be a quick breather for Hill, who's had a really nice game today. Langley makes that one. 5-point game, 3:45 left. Ice calling out the play. Colton George now. Mark Morgan, he drives in. And that one gets stolen.
Yeah, he lost control there.
And good hustle from Daquan Smith to steal that away.
Yeah, that was
Potsdam
that
had
was
an open.
big.
Yeah, Potsdam had an open. Looked like they had an open layup, but Smith stole that one away. Now Ice has it. Ice drives in once again, kicks it out. Colton George for 3. A little too strong.
Good. And Colton George is furious. He knew he had that one.
And Colton George hasn't been able to find that stroke that he had in the first half yesterday. He went cold in the second half yesterday, and he's been cold ever since. So
Yes.
They really need him to get going. Full timeout, Potsdam.
So, I don't know if it's just me, but if I'm Potsdam, I'm telling them they need to start playing like the way that they can. I mean, their offense, right now they got 3 players, number 12, number 33, and number 23, all in double digits. But they need a big bucket here. I mean, they still are up by 5 points. So now it's the time to pull up and show what you're made of.
Yeah, this is a great test for both teams. Does Potsdam have what it takes to, face the adversity and finish this game off and, go home with the victory? Or does Fredonia have what it takes to come back and play spoiler on a Potsdam team that's 5th in the conference right now? And, does Fredonia have what it takes to knock them off and come back and get their 3rd win of the year? So time will tell. 3:02 left in the game. It'll be Potsdam ball. Thomas is going to inbound it. Del Sol Lowry now. Down low, into Langley. He backs down George. Jump stop.
And
he
a
traveled. I think that one of his feet moved as he took that jump stop. It wasn't.
That's
a
like the
secure
3rd
stop.
or 4th time, too, that
Yeah.
he's been called for a travel. And he has been very mad about it, especially right now. He was like, what? What just happened?
Colton George now drives in.
And a bad possession by Colton George.
Gets stripped. 2-on-1. And an alley-oop.
Oh,
Oh,
what a
my
dunk.
goodness. Serene Kane with the monstrous dunk. 66-59.
And I thought
Wow.
I thought Hill's dunk was going to be the only dunk in the game. I was wrong.
Yeah.
That was spectacular.
Wow. Now Ice pulls up.
And
And
ice
his
in his
jumper
veins.
is good.
Ice in his veins.
And he's up to 15 today. 5-point game, 2:10 left.
This is the crucial part now. You can't allow them to score again. And I'm still surprised that Sykes is not in the game. against Kane because no one has been able to stop him all game long.
Good defense there from Fredonia. They almost steal it away. Delsa Lowry now slows things down. Thomas back to Delsa Lowry.
Can't allow a basket here.
He drives in. Misses that.
And
Morgan with the rebound.
You guys slow down the offense.
He
And
gets
that's
stripped.
and a wide open basket.
Here comes Kane and
Another dunk.
throws that one down.
2 dunks in a row for Kane, and that just sucked the energy out of the room.
Could that have been the dagger? A minute 32 left. 68-61.
I feel like Fredonia doesn't, this is something that they haven't been accustomed to is late game situations. Morgan cannot drive in there and try to be a fast pace. You're not down, it's not like 15 seconds are left or whatever where you need to. You have a minute and 32, and I get it. There's not a lot of time, but you have to create those opportunities. So to just go in those fast pace and lose the ball is a horrible sequence, and especially it's even worse is that Kane just dunked on you, not once, but twice, and the second time was wide open.
Yeah, so I believe Kane still hasn't missed. I'll check that, though. Yeah, Serene Kane, 10 of 10 from the field, 21 points, 9 rebounds.
Yeah, almost a double-double.
And I will say, though, Fredonia's played really, really good defense today.
Yeah, for the most part.
I know Kane's been pretty much dominating, but
he's pretty much the only one that's really dominated from start to finish.
yeah, but, they tightened up their defense, and they're playing bigger than they are. And that's nice to see, and they're using the double teams to their advantage.
Right.
As amazing as playing by
Yeah.
Kanye. It's a 2K13 song.
I know, right?
I love that. I still play 2K13.
13? What are you not?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Good with the times.
I love all the rosters and the music and everything. Daquan Smith now. He drives in, and his pass is stolen.
And a bad pass there.
And Colton George picks up the foul.
That's a bad. Daquan Smith has to realize where to pass it and know the situation. I feel like Fredonia doesn't at this point.
So 2 bad turnovers there for Fredonia really are hurting their chances right now.
Now, if he misses both of these, that'll really help out.
Or even one.
Even if he misses one.
There's the first miss.
And actually, they have Kane in the back instead of going for the rebound. So what they're trying to do is just play smart defense at this point.
So as long as George can back out Langley, or box out, excuse me.
He gets 2.
Misses a free throw. Now here comes Ice. A minute 15 left. Up to Nyasa. He tries a 3. Banks out. And Daquan Smith is there.
And 1.
And 1. Daquan Smith is there for the offensive rebound. Puts it back up on it, and he's going to the line for the and 1.
This is huge right now. If he needs to get this in. Needs to get this in.
It was back to a 2-possession game.
And Kane is saying something to the official right now. But as for Fredonia, they need to make as many free throws
And Morgan
as
comes
possible.
back in for George. Good call there. George hasn't found his stroke like he had in the first half yesterday, and he's picked up a couple cheap fouls. Or actually, I can't remember exactly how many fouls. Daquan Smith makes the free throws, but he's had a couple turnovers as well.
Yep.
So 68-64, minute
And he
9.
got his
turnover, and Nyasa
And then
can't
lost it.
finish. As the crowd's up on his feet now, and they didn't need to foul there.
No, they didn't.
Minute 3 left.
It's
Nyasa-
not a bad foul because they
Yeah.
have missed so many opportunities, but it is a risky one.
You're right.
It's not a bad one.
As Daquan Smith picked up the foul.
But
It's not
Nyasa
as bad
was
as
a
it
little hurt.
looks. I mean, but normally you just play straight up, try to stop him, get a quick shot. Is back to a 1 or 2 point game.
Yeah. That was a great steal, though. Great opportunity, though, by Nyasa. And, and if you see, he's facing
And he missed the
right
first free throw.
now. Tell you what, Potsdam really has to be worried.
And George comes back
This
in.
is not the game that they were expecting.
Yeah. Let's see what Fredonia's made of here. So it turned out to be a good foul as they save time. And Delsa Lowry
and they made it. So
Made 1 and 2 free throws, so
that's okay. It's still a 2-possession game. They can win.
Yep.
Get it with a 3-pointer or a quick 2 and then a 3. They got to play smart here. You got to make a
Daquan
basket.
Smith. Oh, close. But that one was just a little too far to the left.
Yes.
Man, if he would have hit that, place would have erupted.
Yep.
And more importantly, it would have been a 2-point game.
Yes. But again, they're making smart fouls because they haven't been efficient at the line today. So I'd rather them do this than, you know, give them a straightaway shot or waste some time off the clock.
First free throw is good.
And now, again, it's still a 2-possession game. As a timeout happens.
Timeout is called.
We were saying it, too, on our little break for halftime. What if this comes down to a 3-point game?
Yeah.
And we didn't really expect it, but it really has been a lot closer than what I think anyone has expected.
So once again, 70-64 is the score. 51.5 seconds left. Potsdam will have 1 free throw remaining when we return from this timeout. And, you know, Fredonia doesn't need a 3-point shot when they come back down. A 3 would be nice, but they don't need to settle for it if it's not there. If they can drive in, take that 3. So we'll see if Jaquan Thomas can make this a 3-possession game.
Yes. And at that point, it would be very difficult for Fredonia to come back.
And it's worth noting, Thomas is just 2 for 7 from the free throw line.
Yes.
28.6%. So this is the guy you want at the line if you're Fredonia.
As he's going to be attempting the first free throw.
Second one.
Second one? Yes. Took a
Second
timeout.
one is good.
Yep. So now.
And now Kane comes out. Viskovich comes in. So that's good news for Fredonia, as there's a little less height to deal with. Now the full court press for Fredonia, or for Potsdam. Fredonia will have to break it. Ice gets the inbound. And he drives in. And can't finish the layup.
That's pretty much the game there. He needed that one. And Isaiah Ice is looking at himself, looking up into the ceiling like, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
He
Pretty
needed
much
that one.
I mean, he got past 2 defenders, so it wasn't wide open. But he was pretty open. That's one you got to finish, especially with 40 seconds left. You're down by 7. So now Danny Del Sol Lowry is at the line. Swish is the first one. He's 5 for 6 from the line today.
Yeah.
And second one is swished again. So 9-point game. Now Nyasa drives in, Euro step, banks it in.
Down by 7, but it's going to be
And
really hard. And
Langley gets fouled.
And again, you know, the foul was pretty much going to come here. You know, that was inevitable. But I think it's too little, too late here at this point for Fredonia.
Yeah, it's those, you know, those couple of turnovers. First free throw is short. Couple turnovers, couple of missed shots, that missed layup by Ice. You know, it all adds up. And It's definitely hurting Fredonia right now as they are down 7, down 8. 33 seconds left. They got to get a quick shot. Now you got to take a 3.
Yep, definitely got to take a 3.
Nyasa pulls up.
Can't
No
get
good.
that one in.
Daquan Smith gets it back. His shot is
Looked
blocked. And Potsdam can just dribble this out. Ice fouls him. And Thomas is going back to the line.
There was no necessary point to foul there. I mean, it would have been a hard comeback, even if they made that 3. But now this will pretty much just seal the game, no matter if he doesn't even score.
First free throw is good. 75 to 66, 19 seconds left. Second free throw is no good. Ice with the rebound. Euro step, kicks it, tries to kick it out. Gets stolen. Excuse me, knocked out of bounds. It'll be going to Potsdam, so unless Fredonia fouls, this will do it.
Looks like that's going to do it.
And that will do it. So, for our last broadcast of the year, for basketball at least, the Fredonia Blue Devils come up short. Great game, though. They lose it by a final score of 75 to 66. And we'll be back in a couple minutes for our postgame show.
This is what you came for.